What's going on, guys? I want to make this next video to really show you guys some of the common terms that are used in this business and really, some terms that you really want to be familiar with. In addition to this training, you guys are also going to get my Words That Work, which is again a comprehensive vocabulary of terms that, when I first got started that I needed to know. How can you call yourself a real estate investor if you don't even know the basic terms? So that Words That Work will allow you to have conversations with real estate agents, investors, closing attorneys, inspectors, whoever, because now you can speak their language. Now you can speak the language of real estate. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. The first term, of course, ARV, after repair value. I've said it multiple times. That means that's the value of a property that once it's been repaired. So that's the value of a property once it's been repaired, what it could sell for. So think of it as, what property could sell for. Just think of it as that simple. Comps. Comps are other properties similar to your property. So if you have two other properties in the neighborhood, one that's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,000 square feet, another one that's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 900 square feet. Those are comps. Those are comparable, similar properties to your property. So all a comp is a similar property to your property or to the subject property. Then you have closing. Closing is really where money is exchanged and money and property ownership is exchanged. So when a closing occurs, that's where the ownership of the home goes from the seller to the buyer, and the money goes from the buyer to the seller. So that's essentially what a closing is. That's when you get your check. That's when you get paid. This is the best time of the year, or best time, in the real estate transaction when this happens. A due diligence period. A due diligence period is a period of time that you have to inspect the property and just make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. That's what due diligence period is. And again, it doesn't have to necessarily be a property that you're buying or anything like that. A buyer can request a due diligence period from you. They can say, hey, I need a 3-day due diligence period. All they're really saying is, hey, I need 3 days to really go in depth and figure out, what's wrong with this house, what do I need to be cautious for, and just really do their inspections. Earnest money deposit. An earnest money deposit is a deposit that shows seriousness. It's a deposit on the home saying, hey, I'm really willing to purchase this property. I'm serious. I want to do this. Let's make this deal done. Let's get this deal done. That's an earnest money deposit. Again, it just shows seriousness. And oftentimes, if the deal doesn't go through, depending on what other terms are in the agreement, but if the deal doesn't go through, then it's used as the remedy for, again, if the deal doesn't go through. Don't want to go too much in depth in it. It's really a simple concept. Again, if you're buying a house, they're gonna say, hey, I need you to put down $500 for an earnest money deposit. That's just, again, a deposit saying, hey, I'm serious, I want to purchase this property. HUD. A HUD is a statement that you get at the closing table or before the closing, where you see where all the money is going. You see how much you owe in taxes, how much goes to a mortgage company, how much the buyer has to bring to closing. I think of it like a receipt. So it's pretty much a receipt of the whole transaction and lets you know, again, where all the money's going, where it's coming from, and where it's going to. Title. Title is really something important. That shows the ownership of a property. Who owns the property? That's what the title does. Same thing like a car title. So again, these are some of the most common terms used in real estate. You guys have my Words That Work, which is more vocabulary. It's a comprehensive guide of vocabulary terms that I put together, terms that I had to figure out when I first got started in the business because I wanted to call myself a real estate investor by these terms. So I hope you guys enjoyed this training, and I'll see you guys on the next one.